Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. We are of course now in France with RC Lens. Where in the previous episode we had the beginning of our summer transfer window and also kicked off the campaign with 2 victories from 2. Both by 3 goals to 1 to give ourselves a 100% record to start the season off. We've got lots to get into today, so we're just going to jump straight into things. And the first order of business is to see that James Furlong, one of the left backs that we had when we joined the club, has left to KV Mechelen. Just wanted to get him off the books as we've brought in a couple of left backs already, and we had Hadjam here when we joined, so definitely didn't need him, so he departs to Mechelen. So we've seen another deal go through here for another left back, Adel Ibrahim, also been let go for 1.1 million. As I mentioned with Furlong, we have so many left backs, we didn't need these guys. And on top of that, we have also loaned out one of our young strikers. Javi Paz has gone out on loan for 2 years. Alright then guys, so before we jump into this first game of the episode, with Javi Paz going out on loan, we've decided to bring in a third choice striker, an 18-year-old Fatih Ibrahim, already 73 overall at just 18 years of age, and this lad's got some pretty decent stats as well. Can see here he's 6 foot tall, he's got a little bit of pace about him, 73 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, good balance and good agility as well, and technically he's not bad either. Alright then guys, so time for the first game of the episode, and we're going to be travelling to one of many few stadiums that are actually in the game for Ligue 1, and that is the Velodrome. We'll be taking on Marseille away from home, who have had a pretty tough start to the season, so hoping to continue our good start with another 3 points here. Here we go then, as I mentioned, at one of many few, I think there's only 3 real stadiums from Ligue 1 in the game, so one of 3 visits that we will have this year to a real life stadium. It's a shame because it does make the league more playable when there's real life stadiums. But here we come forward early with Kumbedi, storming down the right, pulls it back to Openda, and again, we are just on fire. Marseille are playing a really attacking formation in this game. They've got 3 at the back, and then kind of 4 across the middle and 3 up top. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of goals today, as there's their equaliser almost instantly. Basically every time someone crosses the halfway line, it's a 3-on-3. Here goes Openda through the middle. It's Openda, it's 2-1. And this man just cannot stop scoring. And here they come again with those overlaps. It's Ramirez down the right. Herrera trying to get back. It's pulled into Thuram. And it's 2-2. Crazy game here at the Velodrome. Here goes Thuram. Straight through the heart of our team. Lays it back. Oh, what a strike. And straight from kickoff for the first time today, Marseille have the lead. Is Gavi with the goal. Brilliant build-up from Thuram. Lays it on a plate. And it's absolutely slammed home. Now we come forward with Buick. Can we counter? Alvarez looks for Openda. Up against Mark Gurhey. Of course, a former player of ours. Openda, you saw, it's 3-3. And there's more goals. 6-goal thriller at the Velodrome, and there's still half an hour to play. Corner for Lens, you saw will deliver. Looking for Openda, oh, it's off the crossbar. There has been so many chances in this game. And now as we've sent bodies forward, Marseille looking for the winner. Great chance, and it's a huge save from Galini. Now Marseille looking to win it down the other end. It's Adama. The speedster has options. Drilled in, and it's a last-minute winner for Marseille. And it wasn't Dan James, the speedster, off the bench. It was Adama Traore, our former player in Season 1 with Atletico Madrid. Puts it on a plate for Ramirez. We couldn't catch him. Schumacher had too many to mark in the middle, and Ramirez slams in at the back post. We're going to taste defeat at the Velodrome. Last kick of the game, and Marseille have won an absolute cracker here in the last minute. Well, that game there, I think, just highlights why against the better teams, we're still a significant way off where we need to be to challenge for the title. Look at this guy, by the way. Isaac Toure, 6'8", left-footed again, 93 strength, 86 sprint speed. This guy is an absolute tank. Going to cost a fair few quid to bring him in though, which we don't have at the moment. Alright then guys, the Europa League draw has been made. Of course, we are in this competition, so we will find out who it is that we will face. That's the Champions League. In the Europa League, we have been drawn against... it's Slavia Prague, Bodo Glimt, who we faced before with Roma, and Valencia of Spain as well. Interesting group. I'd fancy us to get through it. Valencia potentially our biggest rivals, but Bodo and Slavia could definitely challenge us, especially as we're not going to be taking it too seriously this year. We've just had confirmation here of another of our young strikers, Belgian Lorenzo Robert going out on loan to Bournemouth for a year. I quite like that, going to the Premier League to get some football. Only a 1-year loan for Lorenzo though, so he will be back with us next summer. So I've actually still got quite a few deals that I'm working on. I really want to bring in some more players, as I feel like our squad is really small. Although we've got 30 players in the squad, I feel like half of them are loaned out, so definitely need to bring in some more depth. So we're looking at quite a few free agents that we could try and bring in, but I'm waiting on scout reports back on a lot of them, and I don't want to go in blind. So we might be quite busy on transfer deadline day, but before we get that, it's the 26th of August, and we're hosting at Troyes at home, looking to get back to winning ways after that defeat against Marseille. Here we are then, back at home in front of our supporters here, and looking to get back to winning ways. Obviously had that disappointing defeat to Marseille earlier on. We're definitely, our defence is the weakest part of our team, and obviously on the sliders that we play on, we're going to concede a lot of chances as it is. We've switched off there, and Somerville, the former Leeds man, in behind Fernandez, who's in at left back today. Cross comes in and Galini spills it. Still not clear, and this time Galini does gather, but Galini does find Seko Fofana there, who can bring it forward. We know how much of an absolute powerhouse Seko is. He's coming forward and gets into the penalty area here. Still Fofana looking for Yusor, who manages to get a touch on it, and despite a quiet start, it is Lons who take the lead. And there's the whistle. It's been a quiet half, that sort of half chance for Troyes, and then the goal, the only highlight so far. But we do lead at the break, and as long as we get the 3 points, I won't mind. They've actually got, it's that Isaac Toure who I showed you a minute ago actually plays for Troyes, so he's playing in this game, so maybe that's why we've struggled to score so far. And there he is, winning the ball off Openda. He's had him in his back pocket all game so far. Here's Buick into Yusor, swings one into Seko. Oh, it's a really good effort from Fofana, and he just lashes it wide of that far post. Buick into Alvarez. Openda on the run. Surely this time Openda does make it 2, and that might just be enough to see us out with the 3 points. 2-0. Troy's not really threatening despite defending well, and Openda carries on his scoring form. Oh no, don't throw away the clean sheet now, boys. Big save by Galini. He's desperate for that clean sheet, and there is the whistle. First clean sheet of the season for Galini, and another 3 points on the board, and a bounce back victory after that defeat to Marseille. Oh, this is class. Look at this. The RC Lons fans doing the old Icelandic clap in front of, the players doing it in front of the fans. That is absolute class, to be fair. Props to EA for adding this sort of stuff in, because it does make it so much more immersive. Alright guys, we are here on deadline day. As you can see in the top right, we've just had loads of emails back with some scout reports. So I have a feeling we might be quite busy to close out this window. I've got still quite a few players that I want to get in, and then maybe 1 or 2 outgoings as well. So guys, I'm still looking to bring in at least probably 2 midfielders, as I still think we're really short in midfield. And I desperately want to bring in some defenders as well. We've got no real depth at centre back, especially at right centre back. As I've mentioned, we're playing 2 left-footed centre backs. Despite them both having a 5-star weak foot, it still just feels weird. So I've been searching all window for a right-sided centre back, and I've just had no luck finding anyone within our budget. So gonna try and sort something out on deadline day, but I don't know how confident I feel. Alright guys, so our first signing on deadline day is actually a French right wing back called Stéphane David. He comes in on a 4-year deal. He's 22 years of age, 72 overall, and with Frankowski leaving at the end of the season, I needed a backup for Kumbedi. So Stéphane is in to provide that cover. And guys, I've got my midfielder too. I said I wanted to bring in another midfielder or possibly 2. We've brought in an absolute gem. Leon Clerc joins as a free agent. He's 18 years old and already 72 overall. 84 pace, 80 dribbling, pretty decent passing and shooting as well. This guy looks like he could be an absolute quality player in the future. Alright then guys, I've got my right-sided centre-back is Timur Kovacevic. The commander Kovacevic. This lad is 6'4" and looks like an absolute unit. He's not exactly slow, 69 pace, but he looks like he could be an absolute unit in the future. Only 21 years of age. And every centre-back that I was finding was left-footed. So I've got a right-sided centre-back. He probably won't start, but he could potentially get some minutes this year. Kovacevic, the commander, is in. Now guys, this is a bit of a controversial one, as we've only just signed Fatih Ibrahim, but he's actually just gone out on loan for the year. He's gone out on loan to Benfica as well, so he's playing in Europe. He wasn't on the loan list or anything, but they came in for him on loan. We also had a bid from Lille, but he decided to go to Benfica, and I was quite happy to let him go. So Fatih Ibrahim has gone out on loan. And guys, we've brought in another centre-back. I said we needed some depth, and we've brought in a young English defender called Leo Cunningham. And we've kind of mugged him off. He's on 500 quid a week. He's earning about the same as me, and he's playing professional football for RC Lens. I mean, he is only 17, so fair play, but he looks like a little bit of a beast as well. Physically, he looks really, really good. His defending's quite good as well. Pace is not great. He's another left footer as well, so we've got a lot of left-sided centre-backs, but like Kovacevic, I can see him getting some minutes this year. Okay then, guys, in the last hour of deadline day, we said it was going to be a busy one. We have pulled off a shock signing. I didn't even see this one coming. Let me explain what's happened. So guys, I was just searching through players, and it's a bit of a weird one. We stumbled across Christian Volpato, who you'll probably remember from when we were at Roma. He was transfer listed, and I was potentially looking at bringing him in before we went for Clerc in midfield instead. So I decided to have a look at players who were transfer listed, and Taiwo Awoniyi was listed by Nottingham Forest. I decided to go in with a cheeky little offer just to see if they were willing to play ball, and they came to me and said they wanted Valentin Tiku. Now, you might remember we signed Tiku earlier on in this window as a free agent. Came in, he was the left wing back from Romania. Obviously, we already have Hadjam and Fernandez at left wing back, so I kind of just brought him in because he was there and he's a half decent player. But Forest said they would take Valentin Tiku plus 2.5 million, so we have swapped Tiku for Taiwo. Awoniyi is in, and I'm a big fan of this guy. He's just one of those players that, like, I just really love him. So Taiwo is in. All right then, guys, so with an hour left, I believe that is us all done in the transfer window. That last minute deal, we got the paperwork in just in time for Taiwo Awoniyi. I'm actually buzzing to have him in. I absolutely love that transfer. But just a quick roundup of all our business then. We kept it quite simple. We didn't really spend a huge amount because we didn't have a lot to spend. So we brought in a couple of players on loan and quite a lot of free agents as well. You can see the amount of free agents we brought in here, but some really good young prospects. Ramiro Herrera rejoins, well, not rejoins, but joins us again, of course, and Taiwo coming in on deadline day. A couple of players going out on loan, and like I say, not a lot of money raised from player sales, but the big deals were, of course, Seko Fofana, Lois Openda, and I guess Kumbedi as well, being the main deal. So there's kind of a roundup of our transfer window. Quite a lot to be done despite us not having a lot of money, and like I say, a lot of free agents coming in. So with the transfer window now of course closed, this is the squad that we will have until January at the minimum, although to be honest, with all the budget gone, I don't think there's going to be much going on in the January window either. The squad's kind of thickened out a little bit. We've got some decent striking options, Jankovic and Taiwo to be back up to Openda. We've got good options out wide on either side, and through the middle we've definitely got stronger as well. Abdul Samed is our sort of holding backup. We've got Duarte and Maric on loan, and Clerc looks really good as well. This is one of the guys that we brought in on deadline day. Looks like he could be really decent, only 18 years of age. Look how many positions he can play as well. And also some of the defenders that we brought in as well. Leo Cunningham looks like he could be a really good player at just 17 years of age. And Stefan David as well. Really good all round. Right then guys, so after all that drama, we're going to crack on with a few more games to close out the episode, starting with Stade Reims, who have been struggling to start the season off, just 1 point on the board so far. Here we go then, back in action in the league, and we're wearing our third kit, which is the green one today for the first time. And I have to say, I really like all of the kits at Lens. I might have to cop myself their home kit in real life with the main man, Seko Fofana, on the back, because he is a baller. He's our captain here as well. As a Usor with an early chance, puts it high and wide. And Kovacevic, the commander, is in today. You can see him there. We'll see how he gets on his debut. I love the look of him. Like, you know, there's just certain youth players. Oh, that is a giveaway. Oh, big save by Galini. There's just certain like youth players in your saves that you just like, they just look so cold. This guy, he looks like he's going to be an absolute baller for us. It's all up one end though to start this game off, as here goes Onana, has Openda at the back stick who slams home, and Openda carries on his goal scoring start to the season. It's 1-0. And Openda's scored in every game so far. Onana. Foul from behind, and it's a red. It's a straight red for the Stade Reims man, Cajuste. Poor tackle through the back of Onana. And the home side down to 10. Even with the opposition going down to 10 men, I'd still like that second goal. Here's Usor. Space that wide for Kumbedi. Cross has got too much for Openda, but comes through to Buick. Into the middle for Seko Fofana, who I believe now scores his first goal since returning to the club. Seko is on the score sheet. It's a brilliant little ball in by Buick. And he rises higher than his man at the back post and heads home to make it 2. Just wanted it more, no chance for the defender, and heads it down into that bottom corner. 2-0 and game over. Well, not a lot to report since that second goal, and that will do it. It's going to be back-to-back clean sheets. It's also a debut clean sheet for Kovacevic, the commander, in our back four. Really good to see him starting and picking up a clean sheet. And as I mentioned, back-to-back clean sheets for Galini in goal. It was pretty comfortable, especially after the red card. And it's another 3 points on the board as we look to get as close as we possibly can to Paris Saint-Germain in this first season. So we're back to the old dreaded Thursday, Sunday schedule as we're now back into the Europa League. So I'm just going to quick sim them. Obviously, we've already won at the Europa League, so I'm going to change my team up. We'll probably make a whole host of changes and then just quick sim, and I'll show you what the result is. We can see the lineup there. A lot of our starters are given the night off at the Messiah. And it's a really good victory away at Valencia. 3-2. Buick with the late winner. Stefan David with a goal as well from right wing back. And David Costa as well. So really good to get off to a win in our first group stage game. I wasn't really expecting that, to be honest, away at Valencia. All right then, back at home in front of our faithful supporters, and a couple of changes for us today just due to fitness and fatigue. Obviously, as I mentioned just a minute ago, playing it Thursday to Sunday is a pretty grueling schedule, and we've got league games in the week as well sometimes, so we're having to rotate. That's why I was so kind of focused on bringing in enough players, as Openda scores an absolute cracker to start the game off. That's why I was so worried about bringing in enough players so that we just had the depth to be able to play in 3 competitions this year. That is a brilliant start. Dan James, who's in today on the right, knocks it into Openda, and what a strike. It's now 6 games in a row that Openda has found the net. He's trying his best Victor Osimhen impression. Leading the race for the Golden Boot at the moment. I imagine Mbappe's not too far behind, but Openda can't be stopped at the moment. But here's a chance. That's going to be a goal. And Brest level it up. And it is John McGinn with the goal, wearing the captain's armband. The Scotland, or probably now former Scotland international, rifles home. And it's 1 apiece. Schumacher wins it back. He's back in the team today, Oscar Schumacher. And there could be a chance here as Buick's goal side, not scored for a couple of games. Buick, oh, it's just about squeezed in off the upright. There's John McGinn looking for the pass. What a ball. Verschieren is in behind. What a block by Fernandez. Verschieren obviously thought he had longer than he did. Took his time to wind up the shot. What a little ball by John McGinn though, and it probably should be 2-2 heading into the break. Chance for Brest to get back into it here. It's played in, and Galini's brave and gets enough on it. Lost his clean sheet today, so it won't be 3 in a row for him, but he's keeping us in it. Here goes Dan James down the right hand side, cuts in onto his left, finds Openda. Oh, what a strike. That has got the keeper absolutely rooted to the spot. I was going to say I wanted a third, as we've got a game on Wednesday night and I want to be able to bring off some of my starters, Openda being the main one, and he has just absolutely rifled that into the top bins. Keeper just stands and watches. He was absolutely rooted. What a strike from Openda. Here's Duarte into the youngster Clerk. Openda's with him, gives it back to Clerk. Openda for the hat-trick. Hits 4. Unselfish from the youngster Clerk. Could have gone through on his own and got his first goal, but gives it to the striker for his hat-trick. And now we can rest him for Wednesday night. And the referee doesn't give them a chance to try and get that consolation goal. It's a 4-1 victory. Another brilliant win for Lons. And I reckon we've got time to squeeze one more game in before the episode ends. It's the Wednesday night clash. I have a feeling it might be against Strasbourg, but it may be somebody else. On the road to close out the episode, away against Strasbourg in the rain, in the white kit. Couple of changes, just because we've got a big game against Lyon on the weekend. And then another game on Thursday night in the Europa League. So games coming thick and fast. Cunningham. Go on, Leo. Go on, Leo, my son. Oh, the pass is really overhit. Corner for Lons, which the captain will deliver. Looking for Leo Cunningham. Oh, what his debut. It might be his league debut. I think he may have played in the Europa League at the Messiah. But Leo Cunningham, the 17-year-old that we brought in on deadline day, gets up above his man and heads past the keeper to give Lens the lead. What a header. And Leo Cunningham, first goal in his first league start. Cunningham, love this guy. Absolute fucking legend. We're going to have to go to a 3 at the back. We've got so many quality centre-backs. Here's Pavlidis for Strasbourg. Not really seen much of them yet. Looking to get away from Leo. Ball's played back. And Strasbourg back on level terms. Here's Edson Alvarez striding forward. Has Seko Fofana in support. Openda. Edson into Clerk. Clerk! This time he does get his goal. It's his first for the club for Leon Clerk. Schumacher's not done particularly well there. Ball's through. Big chance and it's 2-2. Poor from Schumacher. Pavlidis levels it up. Just waiting for a potential opportunity here. Clerk into Dan James. To the byline. Into Jankovic. Late drama as Lens win it. And Strasbourg, heartbroken, fought back into the game twice. But it's Dan James with the electric pace, hangs one up and Jankovic throws himself at it for his first goal for the club. And what a way to get it. The Montenegrin arches his neck, heads it down and gives us the win late on. Matija Jankovic with his first goal for the club. What a way to close out the episode. Well, that is where we will end it, guys. A dramatic end to the episode. And you can see the league is really tight at the moment. Every league is generally pretty tight in the first sort of 10 to 15 games of the season. But you can see the top 5 there just separated by 3 points. We do actually sit top of the tree as the top scorers of the division. 20 goals scored, 9 conceded. PSG just behind us, level on points with 6 wins from their first 7. And our first game of the next episode will be 3rd place Lyon, who are, I believe, the only unbeaten side left in the division. That is a cracker to start off the next episode. But we're going to try and progress this pretty quick. Obviously, we've got no European football to worry about until potentially the latter stages. So we're going to crack on with the domestic season. And hopefully we can make a push and perhaps challenge PSG's dominance in France. That's the challenge. Whether we'll be able to do it this season will remain to be seen. But guys, I hope to catch you for the next episode where we'll be back with some big games very soon. Peace.